like a crab.
Okay.
Okay. A couple of basic ground rules. There's no smoking during the performance. There's no drinking during the performance. There's no eating during the performance. There should be plenty of laughing during the performance, though. I do have one little program note. Do a little screw up. The characters of Ilsa and Ginny were rearranged in your program. The role of Ilsa is played by Lisa Bioni, and the role of Ginny is played by... Okay?
All right.
So just take note of that, and please enjoy the show.
All right. That was sexy? Would you? I mean, I've done all right with it so far, haven't I? It says so much. Just watch. How could any woman in her right mind resist it? I mean, anybody can come up to you and say, darling, I love you, but how often do you have a fella come up to you and go, little thing like that just might have changed the whole course of history. But I do suppose there comes a time in a man's life when he meets the kind of woman for whom that isn't enough. Then he must resort to words. I myself haven't got much time for words. I can tell I've got to with that. You know, it's a funny thing about women. The ones you can get, you don't want to know about. And the ones you can't, you know. My, you do seem to be in a bit of a hurry today. What's your name?
My name is Eve. But I'm afraid you're wasting our time on me, little chap.
My, don't you talk marvelous. I never talked to a posh bird before. Sounds almost like another language.
It's only the Queen's English.
Oh, I know she is, but you can expect that from her. You know, I haven't seen you around here before.
I only started today. What do you do?
I am a junior executive.
Oh?
Yes, I make tea for all the other executives. I mean, I may not talk posh or nothing, but I can honestly say I got where I am today through sheer ability. You know, it's funny you should stop and talk to me like this. It's as though we were fated for one another. I love you, Evie.
I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me. Here comes my bus.
Come on, the coffee nose. She ain't no different from any other bird except she's got a mouthful of a silver spoon. Maybe that's it. To get a bird like that, you have to have money. That's it, money. Look at me. look at me. A minute ago, I didn't know me elbow from me ass, just simply anyone. Go and ask anyone. They will tell you I was greener than the grass. Oh, what a mess I was. Yes, I'll confess I was. Like a burbling bloody baby at the font. You don't know the half of it, but now I just laugh at it. Because now I know exactly what I want. I want to be rich. Have money to burn, 1,000 a week, say, would do me a turn. I'd keep them in one, sirs, in case of a slump. I'd have stacks and stacks and the income tax could take a running jump. I'd have me suits made, a dozen a time. I'd buy all the best shares, provided they climb. Give me a half a chance, a small advance, me fingers itch to make me dirty, rotten, filthy, stinking rich.
There! There! There!
Take a look at me. A quick butcher's hook at me. A minute ago, I didn't know a cockle from a whelk. Can you imagine that? I mean, just imagine that. Fancy not knowing a cockle from a whelk. One's something like a winkle, the other one's more of a...
Winkle?
Oh, what a nit I was! Yes, I'll admit I was. Like a soppy, fluffy puppy with a ball. But I was chatting with this bird at the time, when then I heard this voice within me call.
I want to be rich and have a big house.
Big deal!
I'm the baker, the fencing grouse.
Some steel!
An American car as long as a street. And the local birds will be lost for words that'll knock them off their feet.
Woo! Women drivers!
I want to be famous and be in the news. Go out with a film star whenever I choose. Give me a half a chance to lead a dance with some rich bitch, and I'll be dirty, rotten, filthy, stinking rich.
You want to be rich? Have money to burn? 1,000 a week, say, would do him a turn. You keep it in one, sir, in case of a slump. He'd have tax and tax, and the income tax would take a running dump. He'd have those suits made, a dozen a time. He'd buy all the best shares, provided they climb. Give him half a chance and small advance of fingers itch to make him dirty, rotten, filthy, stinking.
I can hear the lolly thinking, lots of birds and lots of drinking, that's it. I know what you're thinking.
Dirty, rotten, filthy, stinking rich. I wish you'd stop following me.
You can't walk out on me now. You created a monster. And if I'm not treated right, I am quite liable to turn ugly.
Be that as it may, Mr. Little Chap, I have another bus to catch.
Attention, please. The Virgin, now struggling on platform 2, is for patting, petting, kissing, and cuddling, but will stop short of anything approaching sin, desire, lust, and all stations to immorality. And Hurricane Evie is heading relentlessly toward the altar.
You want to make a bet? I'll lay you 10 to 1.
My mother said I never should play with the young men in the wood. If I did, she would say, naughty little girl to disobey. Stop it! I'm a typically English rosebud, born of typically English stock. I'm typically Anglo-Saxon family tree.
Can't you tell?
I received my education in a typically English way at a typically English girls' academy.
I went to Brixton Boys Reformatory myself.
I played typically English tennis at a typically English club with a typically English feeling for fair play. I eat typically English crumpets with my typically English tea at the edge of every typically English day.
You know, that's funny, because we eat fish and chips.
Father is a typically English colonel. Home is a typically English county town.
Somewhere near Swindon.
Mommy and I play typically English patience while the typically English rain is pouring down. We play typically English bulldog who like typically English walks past the typically English trees upon their feet.
would. If I did, she would say that only ends up in the family way.
When I go to typically English dances, Mommy gives me typically sound advice. How to cope with typically false advances, but I've got to confess I find them rather nice. Stay there. This summer we take typically English trip to a typically seaside place with every hall. And if anyone asks me how I like this typically English life, I have never been so pygmalion-fold. And if anyone asks me how I like this typically English life, I have never...
Here is a special announcement. There was an accident in a bed sitting room off the Brompton Road late last night when a 17-year-old girl was involved in a head-on collision with a 25-year-old T-boy and received injuries from which her typically English family may never recover. Will anyone who saw the accident or can give any information please keep it to themselves?
When a typically English rosebud is in typically English bloom, and her typically English petals open wide, then her typically English perfume reaches typically English bees, and what follows is really most undignified.
I never should play with the girlies in the wood. If I did, she would say they'll only end up in a most undignified, somewhat magnified, slightly stupefied, maybe multiplied, quite unqualified, none too sanctified, highly satisfied way. Sir, want to see me, sir? I don't know your daughter, sir. That's your daughter? I mean, she's your daughter? Well, sir, we've only met just the once. No, sir, you wouldn't want her going out with a member of your staff. No, especially not the T-boy. Yes, nothing I did, sir. Yes, sir, no, 3 bags full, sir. Why didn't you tell me your father was the boss?
I'm going to have a baby.
I mean, if I would have known you... Huh? Stop the world! You know, the last time I went to church, I was about 8 weeks old. I went with an adult, so they let me in. Do you know what happened? Some fella took my head and dunked it into a bowl of cold water like I was a radish or something. I haven't been back there since. Mind you, I have nothing against religion. On the surface, it's all right. It's when they go dunking your head underwater that I don't care for it. Oh, it's turned a bit chilly, hasn't it?
Here is the weather forecast. The outlook for tomorrow is unsettled. There is a deep depression centered over Littletown on the Brompton Road. A ridge of high pressure is forcing it slowly towards upper classes, and Hurricane Evie is moving relentlessly towards the Alps.
On behalf of my wife and myself, I'd like to thank all of you who tied a card to the back of my shoe. I know you've been looking forward to this union for many anxious months, sir, but if it's any consolation to you, I'd like to think that you are not so much losing a daughter as gaining a grandson. Granddaughter? I've been trapped. Lumbered. I have been lumbered.
I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D, lumbered, but I'm never gonna get lumbered again.
I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered.
And I don't L-I-K-E it once for bit. I'm too young to be a father. There are lots of things I'd rather be like working down a coal-P-I-T pit when I ought to be completely unencumbered. I've been forced to buy a ring and say amen. I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered, but I'm never gonna get lumbered again. Ah! I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered. I'm completely C-H-O-K-E-D. Show. Bang go all my lovely visions. I've been forced to make decisions. Wish I had a quid for every fag I'd smoked. When I think of all the birds with whom I've slumbered, now I'll only ever see them now and then.
At the weekend, and whenever the wife's not around.
I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered, but I'm never gonna get lumbered again.
If I ever get my hands upon that idiot who wrote, "Into every life a little rain must fall," I will take his book of poems and shove him up his throat.
'Cause it seems to me as though I get it all. I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered, and the idea doesn't please me very much. I was not prepared for marriage. I would catch a boat from Harwich, but I don't speak any D-U-C-H Dutch. Though I know it's true a bachelor's days are numbered, I think I should have the chance of saying when. I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered, but I'm never gonna get lumbered again. I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered. It's enough to drive a fella M-A-D. I am scarcely past my childhood. I'm still playing games of childhood. I'm still playing mums and dads, as you can see. When I think of all the chicks with whom I've rumbered, for the wedding march I'm lumbered with a hen. I've been quite unduly well and truly lumbered, but I'm never gonna get, never gonna get, never gonna get, never gonna get lumbered again.
Darling, I'm going to have a baby. Another one.
I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered.
So have I.
I've had just about E-N-U-F enough.
So have I.
For my little bit of pleasure, I've been punished beyond measure. If you ask me, I've been treated very rough.
So have I.
Like a garrison that's gradually outnumbered, or a boxer when the count is nearing 10.
That was 10.
I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered, but I'm never gonna get lumbered again.
Sir, my wife's pregnant again. I mean, your daughter's pregnant again, and I can hardly manage it on the salary you pay me. I mean, it's your flesh and blood, and I don't see why I should always be the one to get lumbered. Promotion? Me? Sir? Send me where, sir? sir? Our northern office, where is that, sir? Sludge pool. Sounds lovely, sir. Thank you, sir. I'll do my best.
Welcome to Sludgeville, the garden of the north, the home of heavy industry since good King George the Fourth. Pride of the valley, twixt Huddersfield and Crewe, with ever open grimy arms, Sludgeville welcomes you. Sludgeville welcomes careful mothers,
Well, this certainly isn't Monte Carlo.
but it is promotion.
Yes, you go take a look at the new love nest, Evie. I'll go take a look at the factory. Good morning, I'm the new works manager. I've been sent in to step up production. Parlez-vous français? You're all working overtime tonight. Only joking. I won't last 5 minutes here. I couldn't stand the pace. That's it. What would please the old man more than to see me come crawling back on my hands and knees? Well, I've got news for him. I may do just that.
Okay, girls, break for tea.
Break for tea, you just had your lunch.
So what? Now we're going to have tea.
It's lightning-fast workers like you that have put this country where it is, on the crest of a slump.
You're just making a mountain out of a molehill.
I defy anyone to make a mountain out of this molehill.
What did he say, love? Something about a mountain? About a mountain? Something about making a mountain out of a molehill.
A mountain out of a hill? Ah, stop it. That's impossible. Making a mountain out of this hill.
Gonna build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build a mountain, I hope I will. Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, only know I'm gonna try.
Yeah, yeah.
Build a daydream,
Uh-huh.
a little hope.
Uh-huh.
Push that daydream
Uh-huh.
up the mountain slow.
Uh-huh.
Gonna build a daydream,
Yeah, yeah.
gonna see it through.
Yeah, yeah.
Gonna build a mountain and a daydream, gonna make them both come true.
Yeah, yeah.
Build a heaven, little hell.
Little hell.
Build a heaven, oh, darn well.
Darn well.
Never build my mountain.
Yeah, yeah.
With a lot of care.
Yeah, yeah.
Take my daydream with the mountain and we'll be right there.
Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, only know I'm gonna try. Yeah, yeah.
When I build that
I
heaven,
will someday.
Lord, send to take me away. I want a fine young son.
Fine young son.
Who will take my place. There'll be a son. Build a heaven, little hell.
Little hell.
Build a heaven, oh, darn well.
Darn well.
If I build my mountain,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of care.
Yeah, yeah.
Take my days to the mountain and we'll be waiting there.
Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, only I'm gonna try.
With a fine young son who'll take my place. There'll be a son in my heaven on earth with the good Lord's grace.
Good Lord,
Darling?
I don't have to ask.
I'm only human.
What kind of excuse is that? You know, great, marvelous. You know, I can picture us in 10 years' time. There'll be you, there'll be me, and 1,400 little kids running around in this godforsaken hole. Anyway, that settles it. Don't wait up for me. I may commit suicide. I don't know what I'm going to do about this. If I don't do something, the old man's going to bury me alive. So I think I better do something. Because if I don't, the old man's going to bury me alive. So I think I'd better do something. Right, there are going to be some changes made around here. First of all, rip out that old convector and put in the new streamliner. Get rid of that filing cabinet. Put in the new aluminum file master. You people don't understand where we get stiff competition. And you can tell your staff I'm cutting 20 minutes off the tea break. Half an hour is quite long enough. That's it, let's go, girls. Now we're in business. Gonna build a heaven.
Gonna build a heaven.
Little hell.
A little hell.
Build a heaven.
Gonna build a heaven.
You know darn well.
And I know darn well.
I build my mountain.
You will build my mountain.
A lot of care. And take my daydream up the mountain.
Heaven will be waiting there.
You wanted to see me, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, I am very pleased with the sludge pool figures. Mind you, it wasn't all my idea. Actually, it was Evie's. She's quite production-minded, if you know what I mean. Me? Delegate to the International Trade Mission? Sir, where is that? Moscow. Moscow, Evie will be pleased. She's expecting again. No, again. No, this is again. She had that one also. Thank you, sir. I'll do my best.
Attention, please. Trans-Soviet Airways wish to announce the arrival of flight Niet from East Berlin, where a convention of party bricklayers has been cementing goodwill relations with West Berlin.
Over there is the Kremlin, seat of the government of the glorious Supreme Soviet. To the right, we have statues to commemorate the people's glorious fight against degenerate, imperialistic oppression. This is monument to Alexander Petrovich, immortal tractor driver who with his tractor machine ran over 176 German troops during the glorious defense of municipal Stalingrad. Sorry, comrades, Volograd. He was a good man. And a good man nowadays is hard to find. No capitalist joke. Here now is your hotel. In it we hope you will find all the decadent bourgeois comforts that you enjoy in your reactionary warmongering countries. Naughty man! You are supposed to be here on business.
You know, it's funny you should stop and talk to me like this. It's as though we were fated for one another. I love you, comrade.
You're working for peace?
No, actually, I'm on straight salary.
I too wish to improve relations between East and West. You can make love to me if you want to. Have I offended you?
No, this happens to me all the time. Where I come from, women just can't keep their hands off of me.
Western women are useless. Give me a woman who can fly a straight sparrow any day.
Me too.
In Russia, men and women are all the same.
No wonder you all look so miserable.
I will come to your room to collect you at 2 o'clock. Please be ready, because I am playing football at half past. My mother said I never should mix with subversive reactionary elements in the village. If I did, she would say, you'll only end up as a decadent, subservient, Western imperialistic political puppet. One day, I'm a glorious Russian comrade, born on glorious Russian soil. I despite my glorious Paris by their side. I'm a glorious Russian darling, that's imported from the land. And a glorious Russian God, good that I had. I have 14 glorious brothers down a glorious Russian mine. I 15 glorious sisters and cat. And the last of us live together in such glorious Russian bliss. In a glorious Russian Soviet two-room flat. Oi! Father is a glorious Russian dustman. Mother drives a glorious Russian tram. Grandma drives a lorry, so she's 94. And Grandpa doesn't give a Russian damn. We got glorious Russian heroes up in glorious Russian space, and the glorious Russian nuisance when they stop. They live happily ever after on a vessel somewhere in the glorious Soviet Russian moon. Oi. This is a fine day for making love. Also for playing football.
You know something? If we really work at it, we can have our own football team.
I'm looking forward to having babies.
Pat!
Not by you. You realize what it would mean if I had a child by a Western capitalist?
That he'd have East-West relations.
Little joke?
Sort of.
Very good.
They wouldn't send you to Siberia, would they?
No, but I would definitely lose my place on the football team. Here is my home. I live on the 17th floor. I am sorry, there is no elevator.
You know, I heard of the Russian steppes, but this is ridiculous. Can we sit down?
Yeah.
You must lose a lot of party members this way.
A Russian lover would think nothing of climbing 17 flights of stairs to be with his sweetheart.
Well, I guess you could really get used to something if you wanted to.
Do you like children?
Yes, as long as it doesn't become a habit. I think every man should have a son.
One day I would like a маленький мальчик and a маленькая девочка of my own.
Wouldn't you rather have children?
They are children. Маленький мальчик is a little boy and маленькая девочка is a little girl.
Mal-Yankee,
Мальчик.
Malchik. Mal-Yankee, Malchik.
That. First say маленький. That means a little. Then you say мальчик. That means a boy. Put them together, say маленький мальчик. That's how in Russia we say little boy.
Let me have a go at it now.
First say
Mal-Yankee,
that means.
a little.
Then you say
Malchik,
that means.
a boy.
Now all together say
Mal-Yankee, Malchik.
That's how in Russia we say little boy.
I've always been good at languages.
Moscow to Rostov and Rostov to Kiev. Boy, you can see every day of your life. Some may be small boys, some may be tall boys. Something makes all boys the pride of each man and wife. I like my Yankee, that means a little. I like a mouchik, that means
my mall chick. He'd be my joy. Smiling that smile, little mall Yankee mall chick. I'd be so proud of my own little boy. Smiling that smile chick, all of the wild chick. Mall Yankee mall chick, how precious he'd be. He would beguile me, my mall Yankee mall chick. This juvenile chick would mean the whole world to me. I'd like mall Yankee, that means a little. I'd like a mall chick, that means a boy. I'd like my own little mall Yankee mall chick. He'd make me happy, my own little chappie. My mall Yankee mall chick, my own little boy. It's a boy. It's a poor little chap. Poor little chap. Stop the world! You know something? I knew this fella once. He had 4 daughters. All girls. Each got married and had a son, except for one. She had a daughter. Now, doesn't that go to prove nothing certain? It reminds me of the old nursery rhyme. Jack and Jill went up a hill to fetch a pail of water. At least that's what they said they did, because now they have a daughter. As a matter of fact, they have 2 daughters and no son. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Oh dear, what can the matter be? Mommy and Daddy've not spoken since Saturday. Home, home on the range. The silence is driving me mad.
You know, it says in the paper today that the divorce rate is up again. Some people have all the luck.
There was an old woman who lived in the suburbs. She had too many children.
But no son. I thought that it would rain today. It didn't. I took my raincoat anyway. I needn't. We may have local fog tonight. And thunder. It may rain cats and dogs tonight. Shouldn't wonder.
I knew it wouldn't rain today, cause any fool can tell the world when the sky is red at night and it means another sunny spell. Why you took your raincoat when you got that jacket for the car? I knew rain today, I'm suffering from an R. Oh, King Cole was a merry old soul, and merry old soul was he. Polly put the kettle on, we'll all have. No one knows the trouble I've seen, and nobody cares.
I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered, but I'm never gonna get lumbered again.
There's no place like home, there's no place like
I thought that it would rain today, it didn't. I took my raincoat anyway, I needed. We may have local fog tonight and thunder. It may rain cats and dogs tonight and wonder. You wanted to see me, sir? Thank you, sir. It's a Castro. Moscow, sir? Very cold, sir. Cold enough to freeze the what off of a what, sir? That is a very colorful way of putting it, sir. Well, yes, I was very lucky to pull off a big deal like that. It was a business-doing pleasure with her, sir. You were talking to who about me, sir? The chairman? Lord Punstruck? A directorship? Me? Sir, thank you.
language. I will hard work, but I do not expect as a servant to be pleated. I will have no men in my room, but I must have a television.
You're German, aren't you?
You are very observant. In fact, I am from Wilhelmshaven, but I was never a member of the Nazi Party. And my father was completely cleared at Nuremberg. The fatherland said I never should blame it anyone in the wood. That would only mean disgrace. We never end up as the master race. I'm a typischer deutscher Fräulein von a typischer deutscher stock. With a typischer deutscher Fräulein's point of view. I eat typischer deutscher stuff. Now push the typischer deutscher beer. It's my typischer deutscher stuff that's listen to. I love typischer deutsche music, played by typischer deutsche band, as we dance beneath our typischer deutsche moon. So I love the songs of Schubert and the melodies of Brahms. Deutschland über alles is my favorite. Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. Father is a typischer deutscher doctor, but he was a general in the war. They still keep his uniform in the cupboard, just in case we should seize the day he is waiting for. We are typischer deutsche people. We have typischer deutsche ways and stay typischer deutsche outlook on the world. On Adolf Hitler's birthday, in our sentimental way, how we love to see our dear old flag unfurl. Happy birthday, dear Adolf, wherever you are. Please, I would now like to inspect my room. Dankeschön.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah, thank you.
I thought that it would rain today, it didn't. I took my raincoat anyway, I needn't. We may have local fog tonight and thunder. It may rain cats and dogs tonight, shouldn't wonder.
There's no place like home. There's no place like
God created man some several years ago. He smiled upon his handiwork, but little did he know. And Adam with no madam was a certainty to grieve. But when the good Lord tumbled it, he lumbered him with Eve. Adam looked at Eve, and she looked back at him. Why don't you let them speak, my Lord, said one bright cherubim. So God gave them the power of speech that makes a man a prince. And women, I regret to say, have not stopped talking since.
Very funny.
Why aren't you laughing?
There's nothing to laugh
You
at.
should be starting here.
You go off to work and leave me on my own to strip and save and work and slave and spend the day alone. You never think of calling me to ask me how I am. You always say I'm busy, but you just don't give a damn. You go off abroad to Paris and to Rome. I wonder what your business is that you can't do at home. It's no use telling me that I would never understand. I bet you anything you like. It's something otherwise.
My wife's voice is a symphony of love. When she speaks, I hear violins from above. My wife's voice is a melody from the sweetest nightingale's throat.
My wife's voice is a symphony, and I hate every bloody note.
You never think of calling me. I wonder what the business is in your contour house. You always say you're busy, but you just don't give a damn. You just don't give a damn. I bet you anything you like it someday.
Yeah,
Ilsa, how are those English lessons coming along?
not too well. The Germans have always had trouble with the English language.
Yes, well, why don't we work together? My English isn't up to par either.
Thank you, you are kind, but I must myself conquer it. You see, we Germans have learned to be self-sufficient. Everything is a matter of discipline. There is no hardship that cannot be overcome.
Ich liebe dich, Ilsa.
Have you any idea how much Germany at the hands of other nations has suffered during the two world wars?
You know, it's funny you should stop and talk to me like this. It's as though we were fated for one another. I love you, Ilsa.
But you will see, within 10 years Germany will rise again mightier than ever. While the East and West with one another have been squabbling, we Germans have devoted our energies to the rebirth of a unified Germany, without which there is no hope for the free world. The fatherland said I never should blame it anyone in the wood. That would only mean disgrace. We never end up as the highly organized, fully mobilized, armed and mechanized, widely allied master race.
What did you do in the First World War, Daddy?
Nothing, I wasn't even born.
What did you do in the Second World War, Daddy?
Nothing, I was a conscientious objector.
What are you going to do in the Third World War, Daddy?
Stop the world! You know, I read this book once, and it said that if you took all the grasshoppers in the world and put them in the middle of London Bridge holding hands, they'd reach all the way around the world and back again. Now, you may say, what difference does that make? I'm not a grasshopper. It doesn't affect me. But you stand in the middle of London Bridge holding hands with a bunch of grasshoppers, and your knees will be going like fiddler's elbows. Another thing it said in this book was, if there was a Third World War, there would only be 250 million grasshoppers left, and they'd all be Chinese. Not that I have anything against Chinese grasshoppers. They all look the same to me. But why am I standing here talking to you about grasshoppers? I have my own problems.
When you go off abroad to Paris and to Rome, I now know what the business is that you can't do home. I'm not surprised you thought that I would never understand. I really can't believe that you could be so underhand. There's no
My wife's voice is a symphony of love. When she speaks, I hear violins from above. My wife's voice is a melody from the sweetest nightingale throat. My wife's voice is a symphony, and I hate every bloody note. I'm moving my things into the spare room. I've been lumbered.
see me, Father? New York. I see. You mean if I pull off the deal, you'll be made chairman? Oh, I get it. If you're chairman, somebody's going to have to take your job. Well, by the way, sir, I've been proposed for membership at Snob's Club, and I was wondering if you'd be good enough to second me. Thank you, sir. I don't think I have to tell you that if I'm accepted by Snobs, it'll make all the difference to my career. Thank you, sir. Oh, sir? No, I don't know anyone in New York. You do you? Does she? What's her number? Butterfield 8. Okay, sir, I'll do my best.
Attention, please. Flash American Airways airline that has flown more passengers at greater risk, greater speed, and greater expense is proud and relieved to announce the arrival of their 1 millionth passenger whose wife doesn't understand him. So if you're dying to fly, fly Flash American.
From an all-American town. I'm from all-American Main Street, USA. I eat all-American popcorn. I chew all-American gums, which is why I talk this all-American way. I watch all-American movies, half the all-American night. On my all-American television screen. And like all-American females, I've an all-American dream to become an all-American movie queen. My all-American papa comes from Poland. He came here from Warsaw with my mom. Now he lives alone because my papa is an 18-karat all-American bum. I get all-American goosebumps when they play the Stars and Stripes. I'm an all-American niece of Uncle Sam. And I think that Jimmy Carter is absolutely swell. Ronald Reagan. Really? I think that Ronald Reagan is absolutely swell. What a lucky all-American girl I am. I consider myself very lucky to be a citizen of the United States of America. And what is more, I support the Fifth Amendment, whatever it is. Geez, what a bum audience. You know, if they didn't give away iced water, there wouldn't be anybody out there at all. Take this place, for instance. What is it? What is it? What is it? I mean, it's only Skid Row with a cover charge. And all the crummy joints I played were placed end to end. I could work with Vegas. Gee, I'm hungry. Last night you hear them. The cockroaches don't even hear anymore. I'll take this cute little tiny place on my street. It's so chic, even the Chinese eat there. Come on. definitely not China.
I love you, Ginny.
I bet you say that to all the girls.
You know, it's funny you should stop and have chop suey with me like this. It's as though we were fated for one another.
My mother said I never should play in a Cadillac in the wood. If I did, she would say, you'll only be sorry on Labor Day.
Daddy,
Susan! I'm sorry, Ginny. I must go back to London. She needs me.
Please don't apologize. It's the story of my life.
Susan, what's the matter?
Daddy, I'm going to have a baby. I'm sorry.
Please, don't apologize. It's the story of my life. Stop the world! You know, I went to school with this fellow once, and he had this terrible habit of biting his nails. So our teacher said if he didn't stop biting his nails, she'd make him wear boxing gloves. Do you know he was the world heavyweight champion of the world for 6 years? But the funny thing was, when he took his gloves off, his nails were bitten right down to the quick. So you see, even being world champion didn't cure him. Which brings me to my point. If it runs in the family, there's nothing you can do about it. Come on, love. On behalf of the young couple, I'd like to thank all of you for your good wishes. When I just brought Susan down the aisle, pretty as a picture, it was as though someone had turned the clock back 20 years. She reminded me so much of her mother. You know, when I first sent Susan to finishing school in France, I little realized she'd finish up like this. The way I look at it, I'm not so much losing a daughter as gaining a son-in-law in the French Navy. Hello, Dad. No, I don't want any money. I just came to have someone to talk to. With both the girls away from home now, it's quiet at home. It'll give me and Evie a little bit more time to be together. I don't know where the time's gone to. Still, I can't crumble from T-boy to managing director isn't bad in 20 years. And I still make a damn fine cup of tea. I'm secretary of the Foreign Trade Association, and I'm committee members of Snobs. What more could a man want? You know, I'm even president of my golf club, and I can't play a stroke. How's that for opportunism? You know, I ought to be in politics. What, me? You're joking. But I don't know a thing about politics. Mind you, that shouldn't stop me. I bet I know more than any of those other people out there. Just think. Little chap, MP. That cough doesn't sound too good to me, Dad. I'd have it looked at. Little chap, member of Parliament.
If anyone can bring the East and the West together, it is Comrade Little Chapovich, Member of Parliament.
There's only one man who could stand between us and world supremacy. Her little chap.
Ronald Reagan can't even take a bath with that little chap MP.
They're right. The world's in a mess, but so is sludge flu when I went there and I cleaned that up. So there's no reason why I shouldn't straighten this out. Right. There are gonna be some changes made around here. First of all, rip out some of those old conservatives and put in some new ones. That cabinet's out of date. Get rid of it. You people don't understand. We have no opposition to speak of. And you can tell the country I'm cutting 2% off income tax. 98% is quite enough. Just once in a lifetime, a man knows a moment. One wonderful moment when fate takes his hand. And this is my moment, my once in a lifetime, when I can explore a new and exciting land. Once in my lifetime, I feel like a giant. I soar like an eagle, as though I had wings. For this is my moment, my destiny calls me. And though it may be just once in my lifetime, I'm gonna do great things.
Vote for little chap. Vote for little chap. Vote for little chap. Vote for little chap. For little chap.
Hello, citizens. Our speaker for tonight is the opportunist candidate for this constituency, Mr. Littlechap.
Mumbo jumbo rhubarb, rhubarb, tickety boobarb, yak yak yak. Mumbo jump, red, white, and blue barb. Poor Britannia's on her back. Mumbo jumbo rhubarb, rhubarb, nothing's new barb, cha cha cha. Mumbo jumbo, Castro's Cuba, I think someone's gone too far. Mumbo jumbo rhubarb, rhubarb, boule boubar, babak ma. Mumbo jumbo, entre nubar, Bridget Bardot, ooh la la.
Ladies of the Book of the Month Guild, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the opportunist candidate for this constituency, Mr. Littlechap.
Mumbo jumbo rhubarb, rhubarb, here's where China got the bomb. Very soon now, if it's true, Bob, we'll be blown to kingdom come.
You got a bomb, we got a bomb, all guns to the bomb.
Mumbo jumbo rhubarb, rhubarb, give the Democrats more cash, helps the nation, stops inflation. How's your father? Wall Street
You
crash.
wanna be rich? Have money to burn.
Rhubarb, prostitution off the streets. We will fight them on the beaches, but we'll lose between the sheets.
Fellow members of the Voter Scooter Association, may I present the opportunist candidate, Mr. Littlechap.
Mumbo jumbo rhubarb, rhubarb, common market can't go wrong. What money wondering what's her undies, Chinese laundry in Hong Kong.
Diddly going Hong Kong.
Mumbo jumbo rhubarb, rhubarb, up your blue barb, Liberty Hall, and your friends if I'm elected.
Yes, yes.
I'm all right, Jack. Screw you all!
Here is the news. Today's by-election resulted in a landslide victory for the opportunist candidate, Mr. Littlechap. Here are the voting figures. Littlechap, opportunist, 999,999 votes. Birch, isolationist, 1 vote.
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Once in my lifetime, I feel like a giant. And though it may be just once in my lifetime, I'm gonna do great things. Good morning, Maggie. As Assistant Undersecretary to the Undersecretary to the Ministry of Knives and Forks, may I point out in triplicate that mumbo jumbo?
Here, 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 here!
As Assistant Undersecretary to the Ministry of Eggs and Bacon, may I point out in duplicate that hanky-panky?
Here, 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 here!
As Parliamentary Secretary to the Ministry of Beer and Skittles, may I point out in singlicate that rhubarb, rhubarb, rhubarb?
Here, 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 here!
As Minister of Coronary Thrombosis, I pain, great pain. As Minister of Great Pain. Stop the world! You ever hear of a fella called Niblock? Anton Niblock, his name was. No? Well, Anton Niblock was one of the greatest doctors to ever live. Do you know how he became a doctor? Well, one day his father got an attack of hiccups and died. Yes, hiccups. Now, you may laugh, but he was so choked about these hiccups that he dedicated the rest of his life to curing illness no matter what it was. He became one of the greatest surgeons in the world, and one day himself had an attack of hiccups and died. Now, you may say, what's the point of all this? I'll tell you what it is. If it says in the big book that you are going to die from an attack of hiccups one day, you will die from an attack of hiccups. But sometimes you may get a warning set of hiccups, and that's when the old man slows down and takes a deep breath. You're no good to yourself dead, are you? People are, Evie. It's just too bad they wait till you're nearly dead before they show it. I enjoy our little walks. It's quiet out here. I must remember to get that tree cut back.
What's the matter?
You know, it's funny. You spend your whole life working hard so that you can retire. And then when you do, the thing you miss most is your work.
It's bound to take a little time to unwind.
I like your new hairstyle, Evie.
I've been wearing my hair like this for 35 years.
35 years, I don't know how you put up with me for that long.
I'm just a glutton for punishment.
You must be. And if we could live twice, I'd make life paradise for someone really nice like you. Why did someone nice like you, Evie, have to fall in love with me? When I think of all the men you could have loved, the men you should have loved, who would have loved you, you're worth so much more than me, Evie. Believe you me, Evie. You know that's true. And if we could live twice, I'd make life paradise for someone really nice like you.
Ask why did someone nice like me have to fall in love with you? When you mention all the men I could have loved, the men I should have loved, who would have loved me. Maybe Mr. Freud could tell you why I love you till I die, the way I do. But who wants Freud's advice? I'm sure it works with mice, but not with someone nice like
And if we could live twice, I'd make life paradise for someone really nice like you. Hello, Bruce. I hope you don't mind me dropping in like this. I'm a gentleman of leisure now. I have to kill time somehow. You know, I had lunch at Snob's yesterday, and there's a most extraordinary rumor going around. This is strictly off the record, but it seems I'm being strongly tipped for a title. I mean, not that I don't deserve a title. I just do, in all modesty, and that's just the long and short of it. Just think. Lord Little Chap. Oh, and, good luck to you too, Bruce. Wherever you are. Unexpected! Evie! Evie!
Kneel, little chap. Arise, little chap of Sludge Pool, honorary doctor of nothing in particular, of the University of anywhere you like.
Viva Brixton Boys Reformatory! Evie! Evie!
Kneel, little chap. Arise, Lord Little Chap, with this key and scroll you were granted the freedom of Sludge Pool.
Something I've always wanted.
Evie! Evie!
Arise, Lord Little Chap of Sludge Pool, winner of the ignoble prize for outstanding achievement in the field of parliamentary double talk.
Well, either you have it or you don't.
Evie! Evie!
You're worth so much more than me, Evie. Believe you me, Evie. You know it's true. Stop the world.
There once was a girl from Nantucket who got her head stuck in a bucket. People started to say, "You look better that way." She said, "So does Nantucket, so forget it."
Daddy? Daddy, where are you? Daddy, where are you? Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over for you. Why didn't you come to my wedding?
Wedding? I didn't even know you were pregnant.
You don't have to be pregnant to get married.
Well, I've been busy writing my memoirs.
You're not a field marshal.
You don't have to be a field marshal to write your memoirs.
You do if you want to sell them.
I don't want to sell them. I want to write them.
I read something in the paper about them bringing you back for the general election. Is it true?
Not really. They just won't put me on television so I can tell the country what a splendid bunch of chaps they are. Of course they're not. They're just a band of villains.
Daddy, I
That's
have
why they
one
need
for
an
you.
expert liar like me to convince the country. You see, it's this
Daddy,
favor I owe the snobs. Good evening. In a few weeks, the country will be going to the polls to decide who will bear the burden of leadership during the years. To decide who will bear the burden of leadership. The country lie the burden of leadership during the difficult years that lie ahead. I will not pretend that the goings have been easy. There have been setbacks and there have been disappointments. But we must go forward together. And if that doesn't work, we'll go backwards together. And if that doesn't work, we'll go sideways together. But we must stick together, Evie, because I need you. And if we really work at it, we can have our own football team. And I still like your new hairstyle, Evie, after 35 years. 35 years. So you see, Jane. She's gone. It's not easy to write your memoirs. especially when you have a memory as rotten as I do. I think I'll call the first chapter Too Much Tea and Not Enough Sympathy. Let's see, there was Moscow.
Over there is the Kremlin.
Anya!
To the right, we have statue to commemorate the broken heart of Anya Petrovnich at the hands of a degenerate bourgeois Western capitalist.
I'm sorry, Anya. I thought your first love was football.
This is monument to Comrade Little Chopovich, a moral tractor driver who single-handed ran over 176 human hearts during the inglorious defense of his own selfishness. He was my man, but he done me wrong.
You won't send me to Siberia.
No, but you have definitely lost your place on my football team.
Pity I'd saved such a nice place for her in my memoirs. She was a wonderful girl, and oddly enough for a Russian, she didn't want the world. I think I'll call that chapter My Mission to Moscow, or I Was a Red Square.
Bitte sehr.
Ilsa!
Yeah, Ilse Brandt. I'm coming to England to conquer the English. But you will see, within 2 years, Germany will rise again mightier than ever, while these fourth, fifth, and sixth Reichs will bring hope to the free world, whether they want it or not. And the day will dawn.
Stop it!
There's nothing to worry about, her little chap. We are all partners under the Western Alliance, and Germany will protect you against communism.
Maybe she will, but who'd protect me against Germany?
I'm sorry I had to tell your wife about your misbehavior, but you must understand, I will tolerate no violation of my territory.
She was a sour little kraut. I think I'll call that chapter My Solution to the German Problem, or Never Let Your Luftwaffe Know What Your Right Waffle's Doing.
Oh, I'm an all-American.
Ginny, please, not so loud. Do you have to play in that terrible club?
Of course not. I can starve to death. This is the land of the free, remember, except nothing's for free.
You remember that little Chinese place on Mott Street?
I'll say I do. I've been back so many times that if China ever gets into the UN, I'm first choice for ambassador.
You and your terrible stories.
Ever hear the one about the American girl who fell in love with the English businessman? It isn't very funny, but it's true. It'll break your heart. Well, not yours, maybe, but it broke mine.
Forgive me, Ginny.
Forget it. You can't expect every show on Broadway to be a hit.
The problem with America is overproductivity chasing too few consumers, and too few consumers chasing Ginny. I know what I'll call that chapter, The Great American Depression, or Never Sleep with the Chinese Ambassador. Well, Evie, now you know everything. I was only ever in love with one person in my life, and that was me. What kind of fool am I who never fell in love? It seems that I'm the only one that I have been thinking of. What kind of man is this? An empty shell, a lonely cell in which an empty heart must dwell. What kind of clown am I? What do I know of life? Why can't I cast away the mask of play and live my life? Why can't I fall in love like any other man? And maybe then I'll know what kind of fool I am. I wasn't too good as a husband or father. Didn't make it as a Romeo either. Kind of lips are these that lied with every kiss, that whispered empty words of love that left me alone like this? What kind of eyes are these that could not see what could be seen by everybody else? What kind of clown am I? What do I know of life? Why can't I cast away the mask of play and Hold on a minute. Why don't you pick on somebody your own size for a change? Really, if you want company, I'll come with you. I'm sure the devil will pay a good price for me. This is my grandson. Nice little chap. Stop the world! You know, I got a bit carried away there for a moment. They almost had me. I went through these big pearly gates and they had this big book out and everything. You know, the funny thing about a circle is it has no beginning and no end. Now, that doesn't mean anything, but it sort of makes you think, doesn't it?